What do you know? It's TwoSun Tuesday, and what I have for your gooey skull balls is this. It's the TwoSun TS341 Sidewinder. This is a Mazwan Mokhtar design. It's kind of a front top flipper sort of thing. It does actually take a bit of practice to get super good at it in general. But this thing is quite a nice little utility knife. And I do say little for a particular reason here, as this one is definitely smaller than a lot of Mazwan Mokhtar's designs that have been there. This one did actually come with, as you can probably see, yeah, there we go, a whole bunch of scratches going on there. And that was particularly my fault for when I was doing the initial profiling on this. I was using the belt grinder. What I had done on a knife right previously to that was kind of fix that little snaggle tooth where a part of the blade is way too far up toward the end of the handle there, and so I had my angle set at about 10 degrees. So when I first put this down on there for that first pass, yeah, part of the belt hit there. Oh well, that's my fault. It's D2, so it certainly didn't come from the factory like this. Heck, even their 14C28N will have a scratch or two, but it won't be anything like that. That's definitely user error on my part, but that's okay. Knife still works absolutely well. We have a nice kind of fuller here in the middle. That actually gives you the whole information there outside of Mazwan's logo. That's probably floating around somewhere else. Oh, there we go. The other side. And you do have plenty of grip for that. So flicking that out, super easy. But you can also really easily do a front roll, which, hey, I really, really appreciate. It's hard to pull that off on a frame lock. And I think a little part of that might be just a little bit of the carbon fiber bolster going on up here. The rest of the handle is titanium, and it's got a titanium carbonitride coating on the on there, so that works out pretty well. This pocket clip, although it's Mazwan's kind of signature very small point here, it actually works quite a bit better than a lot of his others that have that ball. This thing comes in and out of the pocket really, really nice and easy, so I appreciate that. It's a really, really well implemented pocket clip. We have plenty of clearance for different, I don't know, legging materials, whatever you want, pants. And yeah, we can see here this has, while the grind isn't there, it is for all intents and purposes kind of like a dagger-shaped blade, but it's also a leaf shape, which I really do appreciate. That, to me, reminds me of a lot of iconic Spydercos for me, and I really do appreciate that blade shape. Works out super well. We do have a high saber grind here, because up top here where the fuller is, that's a flat area. Actually works pretty well for indexing. If you were going to clamp this into a fixed angle system, works out super great for that. And we can see this backspacer here covers the whole thing. So even if the blade did come way out there, it's still absolutely protected. And we can see also that it does have a few holes here. The pocket clip does cover that a little bit on the back. But as you can see, the blade isn't exposed back there either. So yeah, it's just kind of interesting. This thing is a lot of fun to play around with, too. You know, some other kind of front flipper, top flipper kind of things haven't posed that much of a trouble for me, like YX designs and things like things of that nature. But this one, it did take a little bit for me to kind of get used to it. But because of that, it's for whatever reason, I particularly find it fun just to play around with it and try to get better at all of that. The action on this thing isn't exactly drop shut. And a little bit of that is probably down to the fact that, as you can see, not the flats, or yeah, not the grinds there, but the flats on the blade. We'll just go ahead and go with that. That's probably incorrect, but it's what I'm going to go with. So yes, the flats on the blade here do have that black coating on there. In general, I've found that pretty much knives from every manufacturer, especially when they are linered of some sort, really do suffer a bit in the action there. And that's definitely apparent with my Spyderco PM2 here. That's the one I crew wear with the purple G10. So it's a DLT trading exclusive, but you could probably do just about anything to be able to put this together now, because they do make a standard production version of their crew wear blade for these things now. But they have micarta, but you know, everything under the sun as far as scales is done for this thing, so not that I'm sad that I have it, but it's very easy to recreate this nowadays than it was to get that particular colorway when it was new. But yeah, okay. So I've been rambling on for a little bit here. Let's cover some specs. It's got 3.8 millimeter blade stock thickness on there, as you can see. And it's just a touch under 4 ounces, 3.94 ounces, or about 115.5 grams. And for that, you get a little over 3-inch blade. It's basically 3.12 from the hilt of the handle there up to the blade tip. You probably have exactly right around 3 inches of actual cutting length there, but you know, if you are in a situation under the law or something like that, this is definitely considered over a 3-inch knife. So just keep that in mind. As far as the thickness on this thing, at the thickest point, it's 0.54 inches. And you can see that's kind of on, I'll call that the haunch. Kind of like these shoulder blades on a dog or something like that. There. But yeah, we do have a nice... I'm going to call it concave, but my mind immediately said hollow grind there on the center of it. But yeah, it makes it very ergonomically nice. This is a knife that's fairly small, but I can actually get all 4 fingers on there without even the need of using the choil. What I end up running into is a lot of knives like these, and this one is included in there, is if you do choke up with that choil, a lot of times that doesn't really work out exactly where the initial finger grind out area is, because those are all usually designed for a index finger there. So you always end up having this hump on the middle there. Another reason why I don't generally use finger choils to really choke up on a blade all that much. I've said it plenty of times in the past, but if I really want to get up close on something, I will do a pinch grip on the blade to deal with it rather than getting up there. I guess that really depends on if I'm really trying to force that through there. I generally don't want the blade that close to my finger anyway, and so I'll just use a hammer grip. But you know, people, you know, hold and use their knives differently, so I'm not going to hold that against you if you use it in a particular way that I don't. Yeah, I did think that this thing was a little bit larger until I got it, but I'm not really sad with how it's designed. I mean, generally, I do prefer a knife with a little bit more length on there, but this thing is, you know, at the end of the day, super nice and comfortable in the hand. We don't have any jimping back up here, which I kind of maybe would have preferred, but it's not absolutely necessary. It was just something that I kind of thought after the fact there. Yeah, we got the balances a little bit further back on this one than most of them. But that does help get the back just a little bit more weight, so the blade actually feels a little bit more nimble because you have less weight moving around there. Not necessarily that, you know, someone's really going to be whipping this thing around or anything like that, but I suppose you can, and it's going to be a little bit easier than one that's very centrally balanced at that index finger point. But as I've been doing lately, those are my thoughts and the review of this particular guy, the TS341 Sidewinder in D2. So that's going to conclude most of my opinions and everything like there. So if that's what you were looking for in the video, I appreciate you for stopping by. And for the rest of us who are curious on what kind of things lay beneath, I'm going to continue on with the disassembly and reassembly. And so yeah, let's go ahead and do that. This one you do actually need to remove the pocket clip as it screws into the Chicago screw there. And this guy actually sticks in pretty good into that Chicago screw. There we go. I'm going to shove my screwdriver in there and that'll teach it. Oh yeah, I had Loctite in this. Okay. So yeah, here we are on the inside, and we can see we have an internal blade stop pin that rides around that little channel there. We got the over travel, or we have the hardened steel insert for the titanium liner lock here, but it's not actually doing the job of an over travel stop because the carbon fiber is actually offering that up there. And the carbon fiber, I believe, is kind of, it is adhered in place. So you're not going to remove that without using some heat or something like that. But perfectly fine. It's already black coated. So if you wanted to strip all of that to do some anodization, well, you got extra work to do anyway. But yes, we got their standard ceramic bearings in here, and we have the back spacer, which you can see is actually fairly thick on the inside. It does have a channel in case TwoSun does a little bit of an undergrind. I've had that happen on my Barracuda and a couple others. So this kind of prevents any blade wrap that would probably occur there. So that's nice to see. And it also is just basically held in with a couple of steel pins there. And of course the that Chicago screw on the back there. We do have a little bit of skeletonization going on the inside, or at least weight relieving. I guess this would technically be considered the skeletonization. And there we go. We got the pivot, which does have a D shape all the way through. It's not just a notch on the end there. That being said, we only have the notch on that side. It's the way the TwoSun implements most of their knives these days, and it works super fun. Yeah, very, very easy to open up to do some maintenance on. If you actually need to do that, here's that sexy wrist cam. And over here, I will actually shove that back through. And this isn't exactly circle. It is a little bit asymmetrical. So, yeah, pocket clip is implemented quite well, all things considered. I guess one last thing, if you're not familiar with Sidewinder, I don't believe that this is referring to a missile, but the snake that I think the missile was probably named after there. It seems as though my pivot is not quite lined up there. Maybe that's better. Is better? Yes. Yes, is better. Back it off just a little bit. Yeah. No wiggle at all. Oh, yeah. The detent is right around here. It does have a detent ramp on there, since I didn't cover that while it was open. Yeah, very easy to deal with. Well, all right. That's what we got going on here for the TS341 Sidewinder from Mods1 Mokhtar. As always, I appreciate y'all for watching, and have yourself a wonderful rest of your day, yo. Like, comment, subscribe.